Hi, I'm Dana Walraven, Manager of Community Health Outreach at Cook Children's and Coordinator for the Safe Kids Tarrant County Coalition. As employees of Cook Children's, we stand by a promise, and that promise guides everything we do. It states, knowing that every child's life is sacred. It is the promise of Cook Children's to improve the health of every child in our region through the prevention and treatment of illness, disease, and injury. Cook Children's Community Health Outreach Department helps uphold our promise as the lead organization for Safe Kids Tarrant County. Safe Kids Tarrant County helps to prevent unintentional childhood injury.
Safe Kids Tarrant County is a coalition of community organizations who strive to reduce preventable childhood injuries through a variety of efforts on three major topics of unintentional injury: water safety, child passenger or car seat safety, and poison prevention. This video will focus specifically on water safety. Water safety, or drowning prevention, is important for families with children of all ages. Did you know? A child can drown in as little as 1 inch of water. Danger zones can be found in and outside of your home, neighborhood, or favorite play areas. According to the CDC, in the U.S., drowning deaths are the second leading cause of unintentional death of children ages 1 to 14. National statistics are showing a decrease in unintentional injuries and deaths over the years. Still, thousands of children are injured and killed each year. It is important to know most of these injuries and deaths can be prevented if more layers of protection are in place. Did you know? According to recent studies, about 1 in 5 people who die from drowning are children 14 and younger. For every child who dies from drowning, another 5 children receive urgent care for non-fatal submersion injuries. These non-fatal drowning injuries can cause severe brain damage that may result in long-term disabilities, such as memory problems, learning disabilities, and permanent loss of basic functioning. Worst-case scenario, a child is in a permanent vegetative state. Currently, Texas does not have statewide laws to support drowning prevention, although most cities have a basic fencing ordinance to reduce access to yards with pools. Safe Kids Tarrant County, National Drowning Prevention Alliance, and other child safety advocates want to see more cities require self-closing and self-latching fences around the pool itself. Studies show that installation and proper use of 4-sided isolation fencing can prevent 50 to 90% of residential swimming pool drownings and near drownings.
Hello, my name is Smita Ramala. My husband and I have 2 children, and we try our best to keep them safe from injury. We are both physicians and thought we were prepared for most emergencies. However, in the summer of 2010, our 7-year-old son almost drowned in front of our eyes. We had a pool party at our home with friends, and even though many adults, including myself, were by the pool, it was quite easy for Rohan, our son, to go undetected long enough to become unconscious. After a care flight to Cook Children's and 5 days in the intensive care unit, we were very blessed that he survived with no long-term problems. My husband and I are passionate about helping organizations like Safe Kids Tarrant County educate the public on drowning prevention so no other family will have to go through what we did. As parents, we want to do everything we can to protect our children. Please watch this video carefully and make the changes suggested. It can make all the difference in saving a life.
The fact is, no child is drown-proof, no matter what age or swimming ability. There is always risk involved when around water. We want to share ways to reduce that risk with your children. You will hear the phrase, layers of protection, many times during this video. Layers of protection are those things which give you more time to reach the child before something tragic occurs. It's also important to know what to do in case of an emergency. The more layers you have in place and the more educated you are, the safer your child will be around water. Did you know the U.S. Coast Guard requires all children under age 13 to wear a personal flotation device while on a recreational vessel? Did you know swimming pools are the most common site for a drowning to occur among children between the ages of 1 and 4 in our region? In fact, Texas is ranked #1 by the Consumer Product and Safety Commission for having the highest number of pool and spa drownings for children younger than 15. Locally, 76% of drowning injuries and deaths occur in pools in general. Lakes, ponds, bathtubs, and buckets with water in them are also places for children to drown. This picture shows a common summertime scenario in our Texas neighborhoods. You can see some safety gear, but look closely. Who is watching the children? Is the child in the middle of the pool playing or starting to drown? The parents are close by the pool, but no one is actively watching the children in the pool. This also happens at the lake and beach. There are 3 ways to play it safer around water. Be informed, be alert, and be prepared. Number 1, be informed. It's easy to think, this would never happen to my child, but accidents happen when we least expect them. Being informed will help you understand the danger zones in and around your home and child's play areas. Part of being informed is knowing that, despite what you may see on TV, drowning is typically silent and not a loud, splashy scene. A parent or relative can be sitting at a pool talking with a friend and never know their child is in trouble unless their eyes are on the child in the water. It can happen within seconds. Did you know most drowning deaths would be prevented with 4-sided fencing?
I do everything I can to keep the kids I sit safe, starting with always keeping an eye on them. A pool fence is also a super important way to pool safely. It's a physical barrier that keeps kids out of the pool. Fencing needs to be at least 4 feet high, ideally 5, and impossible to climb. It has to have a gate that closes and latches securely on its own, and a latch release knob that cannot be reached by little ones. It should surround the entire pool, but if your home creates a 4th wall that blocks off the pool area, make sure you install and use door alarms. A fence is the guardian that's always vigilant, but it doesn't replace supervision and water safety skills. If the family I babysit for has a pool, I make sure to talk to them about the system of safety they use, and then add my own steps.
Remember, the more layers of protection you have in place, the more time you have to react to a child in danger. Alarms for doors, gates, pools, and kid alarms work well for children of all ages, from toddlers who have just learned to walk, reach, and explore, to adolescents who love to be independent and adventurous. When used properly, these alarms can save a life. However, at times they are needed most, alarms are usually turned off or ignored with great consequence. Layers of protection help in these cases. If a child is able to get through the locked fence or gate, a pool alarm activates, alerting an adult of an unexpected swimmer or fall into the pool. Research which type of alarm best fits your needs and refer technical questions to a qualified pool professional.
Jake is 3, which means he's quick, agile, and super curious. So we pull safely with a couple of alarms. One goes off when the back door that leads to our pool is opened. The other is in the pool itself and goes off when something falls in the water. This way, if a neighbor's child or a friend or even Jake somehow gets to the pool without anyone knowing, I'll know about it instantly. There are many alarm choices. Ones for house doors, the pool gate, surface wave, and underwater alarms, even ones that your child can wear. We chose the system that works best for us. You can choose the system that works best for you. And remember that close supervision is always a requirement.
Another very important layer of protection is using covers on pools and spas. These covers act as strong visual reminders, even to children, to stay away. Covers are to pools and spas what a closed or keep away sign is to a business or property. The bottom line is pool and spa covers save lives.
Pool and spa safety covers are a great way to pool safely. Visually, they say "not open," and covers tested to meet safety standards should be strong enough to hold a child or children who don't know any better, and teach kids to stay away from them. Spa should always be covered and locked when not in use. There are pool covers designed to be used daily too, automatic ones that can be used and removed by an adult in a short time. So choose the one that works best for you. And don't forget about those ladders on above-ground pools either. Take them out when not in use. They scream "climb me" to the little ones. And as always, remember, nothing replaces constant supervision.
Being informed on the difference between water toys and safety devices is important too. Did you know air-filled floaties worn on the arms or floats are toys and not designed to keep swimmers safe? The best practice is wearing a properly fitted U.S. Coast Guard approved life jacket. These save lives in any body of water. Always check the inside of the life jacket for important labels. Labels will display an actual U.S. Coast Guard approval number as well as the size and weight for a safe fit. If the labels do not show a U.S. Coast Guard approval, it may not meet safety standards. Let's go through the steps to properly fit a life jacket. First, start with a life jacket sized for the weight of the child. Then, buckle up all the straps and pull to make snug. Lift the jacket by the shoulders, and if it goes past the ears, the straps are not snug enough. After retightening, if the jacket continues to go past the ears, try one size smaller. The second way to play it safer in and around the water is to be alert. Distractions are a common factor in drownings and close calls. Did you know both parents and caregivers said they were supervising the child in nearly 9 out of 10 drowning-related deaths? Adult supervision is the key. Because drowning occurs quickly and quietly, adults should not be involved in any other distracting activities such as reading, playing cards, talking on the phone, or mowing the lawn, with children around water. Remember, distraction is your biggest enemy for water safety. Did you know? A very common scenario where children are at high risk of drowning is a pool or lake party with many kids and adults around. Have you thought about having a designated water watcher at the pool or lake? Besides parents watching their own children, a water watcher scans the swimming area exclusively for kids in trouble for a 15-minute time period. A schedule can be put together as people arrive. The water watcher wears a tag for 2 reasons: to know who is watching the water, and as a visual reminder to others not to talk to or distract that person during their 15 minutes as a water watcher. When time is up, the next person wears the tag and is responsible for watching the next 15 minutes and so on. This really helps eliminate the gaps in supervision when a child can easily drown.
When there's the potential for trouble, my boy's going to find it. So I pool safely by staying within arm's reach. No matter what kind of pool, lifeguards or not, a designated adult watches the kids. When I'm the water watcher, I move my chair near the edge. I do a regular head count and step in when there's too much horsing around. When there's a group of kids and parents, we always know who the water watcher is, and we always keep track of our own kids. And when swim time is over, when the kids are out of the pool area, is when I make phone calls, respond to texts, and chat with friends.
An important aspect of being alert in your home is a danger-free bathroom. Did you know the majority of bathtub drowning deaths involve children under 1 year old? Even with its small bodies of water, toddlers must be prevented from getting into the bathtub or toilet without an adult present. Did you know a toddler can drown in less than 1 inch of water? Never leave a baby or toddler unattended in the bathroom, even for a minute. Before bathing a child, have everything you need within arm's reach. If you leave to answer the phone or door, take the child with you. In the time it takes to put in a load of laundry, a child can drown. After a bath, be sure and drain the tub and pick up the toys. Whether washing the dog or the car, always empty buckets, as well as ice chests and inflatable pools after use, and turn them upside down. To help your family be alert and stay alert, teach them this simple saying: in summer sun and water fun, if trouble comes, call 911. In case of emergency, always have a phone close by and the address or directions to the home or location next to the phone so the caller can tell EMS exactly where you are. This leads us to the third and final message: be prepared. Being prepared means teaching yourself and your children to be safe in and around the water ahead of time. Learn to swim, receive training in CPR, and have safety equipment ready, just in case. Did you know the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends swim lessons for children age 1 or older? Remember, a strong swimmer still needs adult supervision. There are many community organizations and private companies who offer swim lessons. Many have discounts. Just ask. This is a skill you and your family members need to have.
Drownings in close calls are 8 times more likely to happen to kids who can't swim, or to kids being supervised by adults who can't swim. It's why swimming lessons are a crucial water safety step. In fact, swimming is the only sport that can save a life, and lessons are available to kids and adults of all ages. To know what's right for your child, do what I did and ask your pediatrician. Then ask your swim instructor to include other age-appropriate water safety skills. For lessons, try your local Y, American Red Cross chapter, or community pool. But remember, even good swimmers can drown, so make sure there's always supervision.
Learning CPR may mean the difference between life and death for children and adults in emergency situations. In the time it takes for paramedics to arrive, your CPR skills could save someone's life.
Most of us know someone who has had a close call in the water. Unfortunately, my close call is about me and my son. It was at a pool without a lifeguard, but with lots of people. By the time I got to him, he was unconscious. I pulled him out and had to perform CPR. It worked. Now I take a CPR refresher course every year through the American Red Cross. It's how I pool safely, and it's something we all can do to build our own water safety skills. Take a CPR course, please, because you never know which step will save a life, until it does.
Plan ahead and keep safety equipment nearby, such as life jackets, a life ring, rope, oars, and even pool noodles. These items may help you reach a person in distress, providing something they can hold on to, keeping them above water until they are safe at the water's edge. Be prepared in the area of water drains. Pool and spa drains can have a strong suction force as water flows through the drain. The result can be an adult or child's body, limbs, hair, or clothing becoming entangled. Pools and spas with flat drains pose the greatest risk of entrapment. Do not let kids play near the drains. And let the owner know if you feel forceful suction in their pool or spa. A qualified pool professional can help with the problem.
My girl is always curious, and that can be dangerous in a pool or spa. We pool safely by staying away from drains, skimmers, pipe and vacuum lines, and other pool equipment that can pose a danger to swimmers. It may sound strange, but whenever we go to a new pool, I make sure to ask about new safety drain covers. They can help prevent swimsuit straps, jewelry, and hair from getting entangled, and they are shaped to prevent suction from trapping a person. Plus, public pools and spas are required by law to have them. My daughter teases me for being a safety drain cover geek, but she's worth it. We know that simple steps save lives.
Always play it safer around water. Be informed, be alert, and be prepared. The more layers of protection you have in place, the safer you and your family are in and around the water. Remember this picture from earlier? This is a much safer scenario. Here, you still have adults socializing in the background, but you have a designated water watcher in the pool. In fact, you can see a second adult helping a child who is practicing their swimming skills. The good news is, most drownings are predictable and preventable. Being aware of the risks and taking safety precautions are proven ways to prevent drowning injuries and deaths. You are now ready to be a water safety advocate. As an advocate, you put these layers into place at your own pool. Encourage your family, friends, and neighbors to make their pool safer. Never allow your kids to swim in unsafe pools or situations. Don't wait until it's too late. For more water safety information and resources, call or find us on the web at www.cookchildrens.org/safety.
Thank you for learning more about injury prevention today. I hope you will take these best practices and make them a part of your family's everyday habits. We don't want to see a child you care about in the emergency room. If you have further questions or would like to be a part of the Safe Kids Tarrant County Coalition, please contact us. Thank you and have a safe day.